Hello and welcome to BLUFF Eversmoking on Let's Play Unreal. This is probably one of the most popularly good levels in the game, and in first-person shooters in general, at least of this particular genre. The innovation is just some of the ways that the level design is just awesome. And here's a translator message talking about Kira again. They're talking about Kira up in the Sunspire. And they says as they're hot on the trail of the hunting party that captured Kira. They're heading towards the blue electrical storms on the horizon. And this is just a message saying they're setting up camp here. Not important. So we're gonna head this way. This Nolly's making us follow him. And all he's gonna do is throw that switch for us. Well, what good does that do? Switch for us. So we're heading, there's a ramp here. There's good music too. What's really cool about this level is that you alternate kind of back and forth between this music and another music, which is the same theme as is done on all these other levels, but there's a scar over here. Don't hit him. There you go. And he opens that door as well. It doesn't. The second music doesn't play when you're encountering enemies. It plays when you're literally physically present in a certain part of the level. And the level's kind of split up between two areas. There's this areas on the surface here. This is the bluff. This large rock-like object is the bluff, and there's most of the level, or about half of the level, is actually inside of the bluff. And when you're inside of the bluff, save for a crypt area, you'll get the more upbeat music, which is kind of to signify that the area that the Krall kind of have ownership of. Not to say that they don't have ownership of this area too, because here they are killing Nolly. And there's another example of how their legs break off. So I'm going to clear the upper areas first. There's so many different ways you can play this level too, which also attributes to its innovative style. Like over here, there's a couple Krall, and there's this well of sorts, or this pool. And this pool leads to the crypt that I just mentioned. But there's another way to get to the crypt that is probably more kosher, more logical to do. But first I'm going to free a bunch of bunny pigs. They don't jump out of the cage, but they do get happy. I'm telling you, these things look just like that. Horse. I'm going to have to post that horse. Here's this little grave site. And all these have, like, person, life they lived. But this one here says, only facing the destiny of the rising sun on the planet. Well, the rising sun's kind of over there. But the trick is just approach this thing from this side, and that'll open up a button there. And you just press that button, and when you press that button, this large crypt opens. And you get inside of it, and it starts to go underground. And there's some flak ammo that I need, but I suck and can't get. So, this ghost Nolly, I think the first time in the game you see a ghost Nolly. I think you saw one up there too. It can't be killed, but he's running around and opening up all this, these crypts for me, and there's not dead bodies in here, there's weapons. So, this is another sign that the Nolly are, they have capabilities of defending themselves. Did I just get stuck? No. Okay. And then two more here. You gotta be careful not to get hit by these stones here. Now that happened last time too, though. That one didn't open as much for some reason. That had a bio rifle. This is probably gonna go right up to the 15-minute limit here, so do the fastest I can. If I have to split it, I'll split it, but I haven't had to so far. I thought for sure I would have to split the Pally Haven, but I didn't have to. So that's all the items we get down here. There's a little fountain over there, which is where that well ended up. But I'm gonna go back this way again. Or no, that's the well. How did you get down here? Oh, that's right. The elevator goes up, so you actually do have to take the well, which is. So you get the well. Swim through it. Dead alley at the bottom. So now we're ready to actually go into the lower levels of the bluff here, because we have to unlock the rest of this upper area here. So I'm going to do this the right way and go this way. It's not necessarily the correct way, it's just what I think is one of the more logical ways. So you take this little side path down and around the bluff here. That's a bell tower, that'll be important at the end of the level. So now when we walk into these hallways, the music's going to stop and start off the intense music, which is one of my favorite songs in the game. This level is very maze-like. There's a whole bunch of different areas you can go in here, and you get a lot of storyline here too, like talking about salvage supplies from the human spacecraft, getting sick of the way the Skaarj are treating us. So it's the Krall kind of have dominion over this area. You don't see too many Skaarj in this level. It's mostly Krall. So, what do I do now? Let's see. How do I get up here? I don't think I go down there yet. That's the thing. Yeah, here. Go to these prison cells here. And take care of some. Strength in it. So here you get some more story about Kira, the Terran girl, was captured and kicking the Krall nuts, and the Nali ended up escaping, helping Kira escape from the cells. Kira was actually in one of these cells. I'm gonna open the doors here, and you free this Nali, and he will take you to his, I guess it's his brother. There's a dead one. You don't have to follow him, but he just takes you up to the cell where his brother is. And that's up here. And I don't think you can get anything in this area. Sure. Careful around here. This is his brother's too. So, feeling sacrificed an alley down there because the girl escaped. And that cell is right here. But this tunnel doesn't really lead anywhere. But this is the tunnel where Kira escaped from. But there's bars at the end of it. There's really need to be bars there just to keep you from jumping out when you're not supposed to. So now there's a tunnel under the water nearby where that alley is sacrificed. So I follow this way, and I can't quite remember where this takes you. Oh, yes. This takes you to one of the a room that's caused a lot of debate by people discussing the game. That has nothing to do with anything. But what is this? This says about sneaking into the monastery, which is what this tunnel system is here for. He's going to try to prevent Kira from being executed, and that's how he got her out of the cell. But this says she escaped to the bell tower. So Kira is hiding out in the bell tower. So maybe we're going to run into her. So this message here is the one that everyone always debates. It It says, have faith, never sway from your beliefs. Only a soul that keeps the faith despite all pressures will triumph when the savior princess comes in the stars. Now that correlated to the fact that when you start picking your character in your modeling, points to Kira as the primary person that you play as. Those who use that argument say that that means that you are supposed to be a female in this game. Now, there's other indications that say the Messiah is a male and stuff, but that message combined with the fact that the first default character in the original release of Unreal is Kira, or not Kira, what am I talking about? Whatever her name is. I'll put it in the video. Kira is who you're trying to rescue here. Gina. Gina's her name. That Prisoner 849, the main character that you play as in this game and The Return to Nepali, is actually female. Her name is Gina. But there's apparently plenty of other evidence that would suggest otherwise. So now we're actually on the inside of the Bluff's walls by coming up that well that was by the prison cells in there. And now if we call this elevator down here, we can open the main doors. And as soon as I do that, I am going to make a second video of this because I know this level's like barely halfway over, if that. So at that point, as soon as I hit that switch, we will... Oh, I gotta hit the switch again. There's a lot of switches like that we gotta hit again. But as soon as I hit the gate switch, I will swap this video out for the next one. So there will be a cut, and we will continue with the next video.